Good.
So setting up your meeting for Facebook Live. And so you and I will do some improv, Marilyn, and then I'll
That's what we're doing because we are live already on Facebook.
be live. Yes, yes, yes.
So maybe we
Live
should
on
say who we
Facebook.
are, uh, and that this is all part of Golden
Yes,
Rule Day. I'm Marilyn
yes, yes,
Torkovich
yes.
from the Charter for Compassion, and we are one of the sponsors of Golden Rule Day. And I'm here with Arun. So Arun,
Hi,
thank you.
hi, hi, everyone. So delighted to be here with you on Golden Rule Day, and we are going to be sharing a few things with you, some songs from one of our partners, Nemo Patel, and also some conversation between Marilyn and myself. Right? So, Marilyn, would you like to start the conversation or shall we go to the song first?
Well, I think that we should probably be very upfront with people. We're having some technical difficulties in downloading some of the pieces that we've been working on. And so both Arun and I are fill-ins in between the next segment. But I'm so happy that we're able to do this and very happy that we're going to start with a song from Nemo Patel, who's been a real partner, and he has been committed to almost everything that we've been doing over the years. And so maybe we should play the song and talk after.
Absolutely right. Here we go. So I'm just bringing his song on. Just give me a moment and we'll just find his song. Just one moment, please. Yeah. Okay, but just before the song, I just want to share something with you and we will talk about that. And that is Fireflies Rising. You know, it's the time has come on the planet where a lot of fireflies or imaginal cells are rising all over the world. And I think you must have heard the story of the imaginal cells, that when a
Mhm.
caterpillar has to become a butterfly, a lot of the imaginal cells are actually eaten up by the caterpillar at first. And after that, they start clumping and clustering together. And before we know what's happening, the butterfly begins to take form and then the caterpillar is transformed. So, Marilyn, I want to ask you, what is your sense of what's happening on the planet right now?
Oh.
And how is this transformation going to happen from the caterpillar to the beautiful butterfly that we are all destined to have? So please.
it's it's good that you start with a small question. Um,
Yes.
I think what's happening on the planet right now is this immense challenge to all of us. I'm so reminded about Gandhi talking about change and, us being change agents. And we've been throwing around that term for a long time. But now we have an impetus that not only has knocked on our door, but pushed us inside someplace. And the world is, I think, thinking, and I'm not saying the whole world is thinking differently, but this time we have massive amounts of people who are really considering things. And in part of the consideration is that there are those of us who have the privilege of thinking um, and being comfortable in our homes during the thinking period. And then if we take it a step further and consider all of the people in the world who don't have that privilege of having a shelter and having the security of food, or the warning that we get through the media of washing our hands. I mean, places where people don't have these kinds of options. I mean, they're as you know, they're crowded. There's a lack of water. There's food scarcity. So we have to build a bridge from our comfortable confronting a new way of living to thinking about all of those people who don't
Beautiful.
have that kind of option.
Absolutely, absolutely. And so I think what you're saying is that there's a need now for a huge amount of compassion, a huge
Mhm.
empathy for the people who are totally down and out, whether it is on the streets of Pune or in Seattle or any other part of the world. And the fireflies, that is the people who feel this call of compassion and who feel the call of spirit, need to come together to respond creatively to this situation.
Right. You
Yeah.
know, Arun, we've been on the Charter for Compassion, we've been running all of these programs or meetings, gatherings of people early in the morning coming from India, your friend and mine. Rocky Sharma is
Yes, yes, yes.
through meditation each morning. It's a wonderful way to start the morning. And we've also been working, well, I don't know, it depends on the time in the world you tune in, but midday for some people with Mandar Apti, who's
Yes.
also leading us and with a little bit of conversation as well. And, you know, the thing I think that we're finding is, you know, people saying, I can live with so much less than I ever thought I could because I
Yes,
never thought
yes.
about it. So that has been, you know, one thing. And another conversation I think that off and on we hear is people saying, you know, when the coronavirus is finished, which who knows when that will be, but you know, will we be doing things the same way again? Um, will we be thinking about education in the same way? Uh, you know, we are making efforts in many places in the world to shelter the homeless. And will we push them out of those shelters if we manage to get them in?
Beautiful.
Um, yeah,
Absolutely.
and we think of big institutions. Um, could some of that be done in neighborhoods? So, I
Right.
mean, I think we have so many challenges in front of us.
Yes, yes. And Madeline, one of the things that I believe is that if we listen to guidance in this time of crisis, if we really surrender and open our hearts, open our minds to new ideas, they will bubble up from the creative intelligence that is beneath all of life.
Right.
And when we sit together in a circle and we have these beautiful seeds of thought, beautiful seeds of new ideas, these seeds will germinate and create the new world that we are all hoping will emerge. And on that note, I would love our viewers to hear a song by Neem called Planting Seeds. And then Marilyn and I will be back. Yeah, so just enjoy the song.
I spent a long time running. I never knew then what I know now. That the fruits, they always come in, but you can't go around just knocking them down. It takes a long time to show in. We plant the seeds then and we look at them now. But the roots are always growing, no matter if I'm there or never around. Whatever grows will grow, whatever dies will die, whatever works will work, whatever flies will fly, whatever fails will fail, what's meant to soar will soar. I am planting planting seeds, nothing
It's like
more.
your whole life you've been training for this moment, and when the time comes, you just disown it, meaning you just surrender, don't control it. Not interested in the clay pots and mold it, or sitting next to the path trying to unfold it, or waiting for the fruits to fall down toward you. Let it go and now you're flowing, feeling quite gorgeous, so you take steps away instead of towards it. What a rush, feeling freedom with nothing to hold. We've been taught that what you touch will always turn to gold, and now we're learning when we let it go, it overflows with no credit to take, cause no credit is home. A higher power working deeper where the seeds are sowed, and when the seeds are true, then they're seeds of gold. But the real gold is joy when life starts to flow, and when it does, you just smile, cause now you know. I spent a long time running, I never knew then what I know now. Let the fruits, they always come in, but you can't go around just knocking them down. It takes a long time to show in. We plant the seeds then, and we look at them now. But the roots are always growing, no matter if I'm there or never around.
Whatever grows will grow, whatever dies will die, whatever works will work, whatever flies will fly, whatever fails will sow. I am planting seeds. Whatever grows
Yep,
will
when it grows, it grows.
whatever dies will
And when it dies, it dies. Come on.
Works will
If it works, it works.
whatever flies will
Let it fly, let it
whatever
fly.
fails will
When it
fail.
fails, it
What's meant
fails.
to sow will
And when it
sow.
soars, it soars.
I am planting seeds. Whatever grows will
Let it grow, let it grow.
whatever dies will
When it
die.
dies, it dies.
Whatever works will
When it works, it works.
whatever flies
Yeah,
will
let it fly, let it
whatever
fly.
fails will fail.
Fails, it fails.
To sow will sow.
Let it
I am
soar. I'm planting seeds and nothing more. Dies, it dies. When it works, it works. Yeah, let it fly, let it fly. Fails, it fails. Come on, let it soar. I'm planting seeds and nothing more.
So that was a very beautiful song, Marilyn. And what does it do for you, this song of Nemo Patel and Daniel Namod, partners
Well,
of Charter for Compassion?
right. Whenever I see anything that Empty Hands Productions puts out, there's always a smile on my face.
Oh,
And, this particular song about planting seeds and thinking about planting those seeds right now in this time period where we're really all confronted with the same issue. And that issue is surrounded by climate change, the elimination of nuclear
yeah.
weapons, and everything else we can possibly, know that's really threatening the future of ourselves and the planet. And this is the time to plant those seeds. The little seeds at home. How you act differently and perhaps more openly to the people in your family and with whom you live. The seeds of just your surroundings. And then, the nature around you and your extended family. And that means everyone, your neighbors and your colleagues and friends. And I think that people, have this immense, longing for common humanity. And
Yeah.
it's so interesting to hear people talk about how they're calling people they haven't talked to in years, or relatives that, have been out of the picture. And I've been so involved in education for years, and I think those seeds are being planted, hopefully by children, students, teachers, administrators.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
remember
Yeah.
kind of teaching a course probably 2 decades ago, and being so concerned about the computer that it was going to be, in my mind, a divide between those who have and those who don't have.
Right.
And the computer is and technology is just so it's such a bridge. It can be such a
Yes.
bridge, and we can continue
You,
to make it stronger and stronger and unite people. So when I hear
absolutely.
this
Yes.
song, everything is popping into your head. I remember the first
Yes.
time I
Yes.
came to India
Yeah.
many years ago, and I was confronted with that shower and that bucket. And how do you do a shower with one bucket of water? And
Yeah. Yeah.
that, because I was there for an extended period of time, that is a practice that is still so much of how I do things.
Very true.
And
Very true.
and I think that, that was a seed that was planted many years ago about, water and the preciousness of water. And so, we're planting these seeds and learning, and the important
Absolutely.
thing is to share the
Very true.
lessons.
Very true. Yeah. So I remember, many years back, I was feeling very low and quite low, and for some reason, my inner guidance said, draw painting. And I remember making a painting. There was a full moon up there, and a mountain, and a womb-like structure, and in that there were seeds of light. And that
Mm.
was about 25, 30 years back. And I remember that, when things get very, very dark, when things are dark, the seeds of light start arising as sparked people, as people of consciousness or spirit. And then these fireflies, these seeds of light then start connecting, conversing, dancing together, and so on. So, Marilyn, I think this is a time when, surprisingly, I'm feeling a deep sense of gratitude. I'm feeling so grateful for what's happening. While on the one hand, COVID is creating
Mhm.
problems, on the other hand, in India, we are saving 700 lives per day of people who are not dying from road accidents. We are saving 1,000 people who are not dying from air pollution. So every day we're saving 1,700 people's lives because of no traffic and no air pollution, even as a few, 30, 40, 50 die because of the COVID virus. So there's immense gratitude for what's happening, and a lot of changes. I mean, the dolphins are coming back to Bombay. The whales are coming back to Bombay, unheard of. Peacocks are walking around the streets. Deer are jumping around and moving around freely. So I think while on the one hand, it seems like a scary pandemic, on the other hand, something beautiful is really happening. And I think in these times of crisis, one of the most beautiful emotions that keeps us going and keeps hope going is gratitude. So let's listen to a song from Nemo on gratefulness and gratitude, and then we'll carry on the conversation.
Okay, good.
Yeah, thank you. It's called Grateful by Nemo Patel, and here we go. Start from the start.
You're my life, you're my breath, you're a smile, you're my guest. You're the earth, you're the sun, you're the grass, you are love. You're my hands, you're a bug, you're my eyes, you're a hug. You're the light in the dark, you're the spark, you are fun. You're my mom, you are water, you're the stars, you're my daughter. You're my friend till the end, you're my dreams, you're my father. You're the ants on the ground, the miracles that surround. I'm feeling it all around, the hemisphere in the clouds. You're my pain, you're my sorrow, you're my hope for tomorrow. You're the strength when I'm hollow, you're the path that I follow. You're the blessings that exist, the small things that are bliss. The gift to realize that everything
All
is a
that
gift.
I am, all that I see, all that I've been, and all that I'll ever be is a blessing. It's so amazing, and I'm grateful for it all, for it all. Grateful for it
You're the blessings every time I try to count. You're the lessons that I learn every time I turn around. You're the water when I'm burned every time I think I found everything I'm looking for. You're the sign saying stop to take a bow and keep moving forward and start looking towards your heart. It'll open all the doors and only then you'll start to hear the world singing chorus with your mind and heart. Aligned in purpose, everything
all
will feel
that I
gorgeous.
am, all that I see, all that I've been, and all that I'll ever be is a blessing. It's so amazing, and I'm grateful for it all, for it all.
Every day I sit and pray cause what I have is more than I deserve or could ever imagine. How do I give back to all of this magic and spread the love so everybody can have it? Doesn't matter if I'm rich or poor, if I got a family or if I'm all alone. Bad things happen, I can just complain and moan, but there's a million things that I can be grateful for.
So I lift up my hands now, and I open my heart, and my gratitude goes out to everything near and far. All that I am,
And everything I see, everything I hope, and everything I dream, everything I feel, and everything I be. I look deep down and feel all the blessings. Everything I am, and everything I see, everything I hope, and everything I dream, everything I feel, and everything I be. I'm grateful for it all. It's amazing. Everything I am, and everything I see, everything I hope, and everything I dream, everything I feel, and everything I be. I look deep down and feel all the blessings. Everything I am, and everything I see, everything I hope, and everything I dream, everything I feel, and everything I be. I'm grateful for it all. It's amazing. You're the blessings that small things that it's the gift to realize that everything is a gift.
Wait, one more. This is for y'all.
all that I am.
It's a blessing. It's so amazing.
I am grateful
Isn't that
It's,
incredible? I mean,
it's incredible.
yeah. The thing I was thinking, and I just got a text from Susan Soleil, who is one of our team members in Golden Rule Day. And she was saying, think about all that hugging that was going on You know, now we can stand back and we can show our gratitude in different ways for a short period of time, and you know, and just start considering, you know, for those of us who are in lockdown or isolation or quarantine, you know, all of the people who are out there working on our behalf and saving lives, everyone in the healthcare industry, from you know, the folks who pick you up in an ambulance to the emergency folks, people who are going out to homes and taking care of people
Very true.
and risking their own lives. It's a tremendous opportunity for each one of us to be, you know, grateful, because, you know, our looking at other people, you know, we might be carrying a virus and not even know it. And so,
Absolutely.
you know, just being cognizant of regarding that distance between
Beautiful.
people, and that's
Beautiful.
that maybe that's the line of gratefulness, you
Yes,
know,
yes. No, in fact,
that we
you know,
extend.
the more you look at this, and there's a song in this, there was a line in the song Grateful, which says that we're grateful for the ants and the bugs. And I said, hey, maybe we're also grateful for the coronavirus, because while on the one hand, it looks like some kind of threat and a destroyer, on the other, when you really look at what it's doing to civilization, what it's doing to equity, what it's doing for the environment, it is indeed a blessing. And you know, as I was listening to that song, it struck me that, my God, this is all such an amazing blessing. Everything's a blessing. And there is a famous master from India called Yogananda Paramhansa, and he has said that God is love, and therefore his whole creation and everything that happens in creation is love. And if we just remember that God is love, everything is God, and this whole drama or dance is God evolving, or you know, evolution, then what's there to be worried about? It's amazing. Like, for example, the problem we had right now with the technical loading of some of the films has suddenly created this beautiful opportunity for you and me to speak and to share some lovely songs from with our viewers from Nemo Patel. Now, isn't this amazing? You had not planned it. I had not planned it. And coming
Mhm.
back to gratitude, today at 8:30 a.m. PDT, which is 9 p.m. in India, 1.3 billion Indians all lit a candle or a little lamp or
Right.
something to spread for 9 minutes the vibration of gratitude, the vibration of health, the vibration of peace and harmony throughout India, throughout the whole world. And it was amazing. I mean, 1.3 billion people pulling out little candles and saying and thanking God, thanking life, thinking of health, thinking of well being and peace and joy. It was a beautiful, beautiful experience, Madeline. And again, even in my webinars with corporates and with many other people, I keep saying, keep focusing on things to appreciate, keep focusing on things to be grateful for, because that keeps your energy high, that keeps your vibration high, and then you are in a position to plant seeds of compassion, to do something for your brother and sister, to come up with new ideas and so on. So I think this was a beautiful song. I was really touched. It's almost a prophetic song, as if it was written for this period of what we're going through right now.
I know. I think that, you know, when you think of artists like Nemo and Daniel, they're
Yes,
special gifts, aren't they?
absolutely.
And, you know, they're not commercial superstars, but
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
in the world of compassion and kindness and
Beautiful.
caring, they are.
Yes.
And there's so many others out there, so that when we had this quick emergency meeting today, it was, you know, who should we rely on? And of course, Nemo came up first,
Yes.
and I whipped up a few more people who are charter partners that I think, wow, you
Yeah,
know, this
yeah,
is a
yeah,
good
yeah, yeah.
time to hear the messages. And, you know, I, in the world of kind of resourcing and grounding, with resourcing, I always have a picture in my mind of a woman who died within this last decade. She was from Argentina, and her name
Mhm.
was Mercedes Sosa. And she became very famous for a song that she did not write, but it's called Gracias a la Vida. Thank,
Uh-huh.
thank goodness for life. And
Uh-huh.
I had the pleasure of seeing her. So I have this picture that whenever things are really troublesome and I just need something
Yes,
to calm
yes.
myself. I
Right,
see
right.
her, I see her, she was a native
Uh-huh.
person from Argentina, and she was originally, I think, studied ballet, and a very
Mm-hmm.
big woman, but she would just glide across the stage
Uh-huh.
singing this song. And in the song, I mean, she thanks uh, everything besides people, the
Beautiful,
mountains, the
beautiful.
lakes, the patios. And when you think about Latin America, and I think of even India, where you have these large kind of patio centers where people gather and do things, that we have so much to be thankful for and to be grateful for.
Wonderful, wonderful. Yeah, and just had a question for you. I think this uh, coronavirus and all that it brings right now to the planet, how does this impact women? Is it going to shift the way that we treat women or how we honor women? Because all the men are busy washing dishes and cleaning up in the homes, and for once they are recognizing the incredible value of the work that happens silently at home, because they're all stuck in lockdown, so they have to do the dishes, they have to do the washing, they have to do the cooking and all that. So what's your view, Marilyn, on how is this going to affect the way we see women and the importance of women on the planet?
Well, I think I would like to answer that directly, but I'm going to come at it at a little different angle.
Yeah.
The other night on the radio, I heard oh, what is Buble, who is quite a famous singer from Canada, and he
Uh-huh.
and his family are, of course, quarantined, and he was saying, "I so appreciate my children's teachers," and he said, by nine
Yes,
o'clock,
yes.
by 9 o'clock in the morning, I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do. So
Amazing, amazing.
I think you're absolutely right that, you know, um, women, women's work will be appreciated differently if
Yeah,
they don't already have some equality in the home. But I think that the other thing that we're seeing, and I know this is true of India as well as in the United States and Canada and other places that I don't know quite as well, is that women's voices are really being heard more and
beautiful,
more. So that
beautiful,
if
beautiful.
you know, people who are in nursing, not that this is traditionally just a role for women, but
Yeah,
they're becoming more and more maybe not articulate because they always were articulate, but the media is paying more attention to them.
absolutely, absolutely.
Um,
Very true.
Women who are in unions and just as I was saying, teachers, and that is a profession that has probably more women in it than men. But I think the other thing is that um, we have conversations, and I know that in listening to BBC, um, that and in France, I mean, a huge question has arisen,
Yeah,
issue, and that is violence towards women.
yeah,
That in this period of time of where people are quarantined,
yeah,
that
yeah.
their domestic violence has really risen tremendously, and so that you know there's this whole need in a time to hear the voices of women and to give support. So I remember again a time when I came to India and I um, I was quite a fond reader of Ruth Parwad Jabala, who is not Indian, but married an Indian and took his name. And I love those novels, and I would ask my Indian friends, you know, how do you feel about her as a writer? And almost always there was silence. And I would say, what's wrong? And the answer was, well, you know, we don't want people to see our dirty laundry.
Absolutely.
And you know that
Very
she
true,
writes
Yeah,
she
yeah,
writes
yeah.
about India the way, you know, that she has experience.
Yeah. That
But
is true.
an
That is true.
Indian, you know, is like doesn't want that to
Yeah.
be told. And I'm thinking that's what's happening with you know, COVID the 19. The virus is bringing out all of our dirty laundry. And this is an opportunity, you know, are we going
That's
to clean
true.
it up?
That is true. Yes.
And are we going to do something better?
Very
or
true.
are we going to continue to hide it? And maybe the longer that we stay in these states of lockdown and quarantine, the more honest we might find ourselves being.
Very true. So Marilyn, we will close now because the live broadcast is about to premiere. And thank you viewers for watching this interaction. And Marilyn, lovely speaking with you. And we have to thank Daniel Nemord and Nemo Patel for their beautiful songs. Thank you very much.
And I think we better thank your technical person in the background.
Yes, Tushar Sarodi. Yes.
Tushar has been an amazing contribution to all of us.
And John. Thank you very much. Okay, take care. Bye.
Bye.